Good morning, everybody. I hope you are, if you're anywhere in the Toronto area, I hope you are safe because that is the worst ice storm I think I've ever seen. May summer come to us soon. Today I was thinking about failure, and I'd like to introduce my co-host, my cat, who will probably get up at some point and probably jump on my lap. See, there he is. That is Ronnie. Welcome to the show. So today I'm going to be talking about failure. And I really want you to stick with this video all the way until the end. It's not going to be long, but it's going to be one of the most important videos, hopefully, that you can watch over the next couple of days. And the reason is because I think it's important us to face the fact that failure is a thing. And a lot of us go about our days and we focus on the tactical things. We focus on the thing we need to get done today. We focus on the client we need to call, the email we need to send, the Facebook ad we need to run. And that's all we focus on. What we need to focus on is also why we fail, what potentials there are for us to fail, and how we can fix those things. So as you well know, I've been reading Think and Grow Rich, and I absolutely love this book. And so I'm not going to read them all, but I'm going to read a bunch of the primary reasons that we fail. And one of the first ones in his list is lack of a well-defined purpose in life. And it's so interesting how we can go about our days and get things done and we can be successful, but yet we either make poor decisions, we take on bad partners, we make bad hires, or maybe we don't have the right kind of services. And so in the end, we actually will fail. If you don't know what fulfillment you're trying to get out of the work that you're doing, if you don't like what you do, you are destined to fail eventually. The second one is the lack of ambition to rise above mediocrity. There are so many people who get in at sort of ground level in their career, or they start their own business, and they only think that they have the ability to go so far. They forget to raise their head and say, what if I want to go further? What if I want to make this much money or have this kind of a life? They forget to be able to, if you just lift your chin and look a little further, you will be able to get where you want to go. But if you only look to the point of mediocrity, that is where you're going to stay. So have ambition to move beyond it. And so as I'm going through these, I want you to seriously be honest with yourself. Do you see any of this in yourself? I lacked a general purpose for a long, long time. But when I found what it is I wanted to do, money started coming in that I never thought was possible. And my ability to know exactly what kind of services to offer became completely clear, right? Insufficient education. This is an interesting one. Some of the most successful people I know barely made it through high school. Education is not necessarily knowledge. It's knowledge applied in a way that is useful. So if you've got a PhD, that's great. But if you're not using it, what's the point, right? So you can get just as much education by taking coaching programs, training programs, or hiring a mentor, which is an even better way of doing it. Lack of self-discipline. How good are you at getting things done, right? And again, I mistook my inability to get things done for actually the fact that I didn't have a purpose. So when you have a purpose, that whole idea of self-discipline usually kicks in and you're going to get so much more done. In the 12-week program that I've got going on right now, I've got a wait list that I'm starting for people who want to take it later on this year. We focus on specific productivity hacks that are going to help people take giant projects and get them done. But lack of self-discipline is a big one. Ill health. Now, some people, they have truly chronic diseases. I totally get it. But that doesn't mean that you can't take care of yourself to your max capacity by eating well, getting exercise, and getting some sleep. Procrastination. That one's obvious. Do you procrastinate? I procrastinate. But if you use the productivity hacks, again, like the ones that I teach in my programs, then you're like procrastination just doesn't become a thing. And if you have purpose, you don't procrastinate because you're just driven to succeed. And when you take, and if you saw my post from a couple of days ago, take your money goal and double it. When you do that, it is so motivating. It's so awesome. Lack of persistence. How many times have you seen the whole cartoon of the guy that's digging along and he's trying to get out of his prison and then he stops just shy of freedom? Persistence beyond what we think we can handle is what we need to push for. So be persistent, continue and push and push and push, and you will absolutely get there. You may need to push yourself, you may need to push your team, but whatever you need to do, persistence is going to help you to make sure you get exactly what you want. Here's an interesting one, a negative personality. How often do you go about your day saying negative things about others, about yourself? When you have a negative personality and you say negative things and you talk in negative ways, you attract negative things and negative people, and then your life is miserable. So when you get rid of that negativity, like actually don't watch the news. I don't watch the news because it's all just negative bullshit. I don't listen to negative things. I used to listen to like some comedian commentary. I don't do that anymore because it makes me feel like shit and it makes me scared. And that's what a lot of this stuff does. And if that's how you're feeling about what you're surrounding yourself with, the shows you watch, the people you hang out with, leave it. Turn it off. Find new friends. Uncontrolled desire for something for nothing. And this is gambling, right? So, yeah. So, Bonnie, thank you for agreeing with me on that one. Not that one. I think you're agreeing with me with the one before. But, you know, we can't get anything for nothing. It takes a tremendous amount of hard work. Oh, there goes my co-host. And so, you know, with our children, we have to really, really push hard to make them feel something important. And I don't know if it's my kids or it's just the generation. I know a lot of kids who just, they see riches and those YouTubers and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, I want that, but they don't see how much work goes into it. Just circling back to your comment there, Bonnie, negativity, I struggled with it for a long time. But what really helped me was to remove anything negative from around me and to try to catch myself when I would say something negative. And whether it's something about, you know, other people or about myself. And when you start, and you just do it in little pieces, right? It doesn't happen all at once. But when you remove those influences, your whole life becomes more positive. And then what you can do is not only remove the negative, replace it with positive, right? Replace it with positive TV shows or movies. Replace it with positive things that you look at on the internet, that you scroll through on your Facebook feed. The Facebook algorithm will learn that you don't want the negative, and it will actually fill your newsfeed with positive. So, you know, sometimes it takes a little effort to become a positive person because we're surrounded by negativity, but we're also hardwired to be negative, which is interesting. So that's kind of something to keep track of. Overcaution is another reason that we totally screw. If you just spend all your time, you know, trying to bank up a whole bunch of money, but you never actually spend it, you know, life is full of chances and you have to actually take them. And if you're not taking them, you're not going to get anywhere. And do not be angry with the fact that you're not achieving what you think you should be achieving if you're not actually pushing for it, right? Over the past few years, I've been saving up a lot of money in the bank account for my business. Well, right now, I'm drawing down on that because I'm investing in a whole new future for my business, for my clients. That is so incredibly exciting, but it's money well spent, and I'm okay with it. It's kind of freaking me out, but I'm okay with it because it's going to give me the ability to develop a business that is going to give me the lifestyle and the bank account that I really, really want. So overcaution is a killer. Wrong selection of business associates, right, or partners. I did that. Over my lifetime, I've launched 4 different businesses, and 2 of them failed spectacularly. One that I lost about $90,000, and another one that I lost about 1.5 years of my time. I didn't lose money, but I lost all my time. That made me feel like a piece of shit. It made me feel really, really bad. But I picked the wrong partners. The ideas were good, the ideas were sound, but the partners were not good. And so I'm extremely careful about the people that I surround myself with and that I choose as my business partners and my employees, because I am not going to go through that again. And as soon as I feel that sort of that same gut feeling of like something's not right, I either have the conversation and it's fixed, or we part ways. So you just can't do that. Lack of concentration of effort. If you try to be everything to everyone, you're no one to anyone. So one of the challenges of being a small business person is that you think that you need to wear all the hats. And there's an acronym that I use, and I've used this before, and it's ADORE. Automate, delegate, outsource, replace, and eliminate. Make a list of all the things that you do in your business. Identify which one of those 5 things you can attribute to those tasks, and then do it. So there's certain things that only you can do, like only I can do these videos. I can't outsource my ability to do videos, especially live ones, because that's really not possible. But I'm writing a book, and I outsourced to ghostwriters and a publishing company to help me get it out there, right? And one of the things that they've guaranteed is it's going to be a national bestsellers, and I'm going to be guaranteed 2 TV spots to help publish it once it goes into the national best-selling mode. I hired a different PR firm because I don't know anything about PR, but I want to start talking a little bit more about my message. They're now submitting my message and my pitch to magazines I can't get access to, right? Entrepreneur, Inc., O Magazine, Fast Company, Forbes, Success Magazine. So there's times when you need to outsource stuff because people are better at it than you are. And in the next video, I'm going to talk about the origination of the word mastermind, which is really cool. And I bet you didn't even know it was there. So concentrate on what you do best. Isolate what you're really, really good at. And again, in my 12-week program, it's called Life on Fire. It's not public yet, but if you're interested in, just send me a message and I can put you on the wait list. But in the Life on Fire program, we go through exactly how to identify what is your unique ability. Welcome back, co-host. Okay, so then we have the habit of indiscriminate spending, which is also stupid. Spending is good, but it cannot be indiscriminate. It has to be targeted and very, very specific. So here's the couple sort of in order because they're very, very similar. Lack of enthusiasm, intolerance, and intemperance. These 3 things are deadly, right? If you don't have enthusiasm, how are you going to rally people to your cause? How are you going to attract clients? If you're not super excited about what you do, no one else is going to be. And an enthusiastic person that walks in the room attracts people. Thank you, co-host. Intolerance. You must be tolerant. It's not that you need to accept wrong behavior. That's just stupid. But you don't have to necessarily be intolerant. And that kind of comes around the negativity side. Intolerance, lack of enthusiasm, intemperance, all those things are, again, wrapped around the whole idea of pulling yourself away with what's negative and only influencing yourself by what is positive. It's hard enough to succeed in this life. These are what I'm reading from now are the 30 most common reasons that people fail. And 98% of people that this guy, that Napoleon Hill interviewed, failed. And he interviewed thousands of people over a 25-year period. And these were the causes. And so if we can avoid some of these things, and if we just pick one thing from this list and say, you know what, to Bonnie's point, like, it's tough to get rid of negativity, but let's just say we take one thing out of this list and say, I'm going to make a change there. Imagine your ability now to see more clearly what it is you need to do, the tasks you need to accomplish, go through that a door and identify other areas that you can clear off your desk so that you can have that clarity of purpose. That's how you're going to be successful, right? And then you take your money goal and double it, and then you push towards that. When I doubled my money goal, and I really, really not only doubled it, but I believed I could get it, my energy went through the roof. And I have inspired my team to work harder, and they've got more purpose, right? They've got a very clear direction because I was able to give it to them. We've got something to shoot for, and it's really, really powerful. So egotism and vanity, obviously those are super killers. Guessing instead of thinking, that's bad, right? Guessing is not a good thing because there's a difference between guessing and gut feel. Gut feel is where, your body is saying, I think something's wrong here. But you think about it before you make a decision. Smart people make decisions quickly and they change their minds slowly. People who aren't so smart make their decisions slowly, but then change them quickly, right? That kind of a thing is guaranteed to destroy your business because especially when you change your mind all the time, even after not making decisions, then not only do you kind of create an imbalance for your business, if you have a team, they're never going to be able to guess what you're doing and they're going to leave and you could lose some really, really good people. And the last one is a lack of capital. And this is a tough one for people who are starting their businesses because you need to have a certain amount of money in order to be able to make mistakes because shit happens. And it's okay that shit happens. And that's not failure. In the same way Thomas Edison tried 10,000 times to create a light bulb. I'm really glad he did, right? I'm looking at light bulbs here because he failed, 10,000 times. But you do need to have an investment. So when I started my business, I had actually was using money from the sale of my house that came because of my divorce. And divorce is not good. And I'm not suggesting we all run out and divorce our spouses in order to get money. That would be bad. But what I do suggest is that, and you don't necessarily need to save up a ton of money, right? It's just that you need to understand if you can get a loan, if you can take money out of your house as an equity, like a line of credit, if you don't have the cash already saved up. But just be careful with your spending. Or what you can do is say, okay, I can't do what I want to do right now, but I'm gonna put a goal for myself. In 1 year, I'm gonna do it. Spend the next year spending less money, right? There's lots of things that we can do that will allow us to free up capital to save towards what we're actually trying to do. So there's always things that we can do. So the list that I gave you is by no means exhaustive. There may be things that you can see in yourself to say, okay, I am doing this and it is either stopping me from getting things done, right? And it could be just like the little things in your day, the priorities that you should be making that you're not actually taking action on. Why? Right? Why are you not taking action on? Why are you not prioritizing those things? And really kind of sit with that for a minute and say, where does that come from? Because when you really sit with yourself and you're quiet and you just sort of say, okay, what are the things that I'm doing that I do well? What are the things that I'm doing that I'm either good at, but maybe a distraction from your actual purpose? Do you really need to get that done? Like I hired someone to get a job done once. And I just kept saying, this is your goal, do this thing. And they spent all of their time doing work and spending their energies on things that weren't going to get them to that goal. And it was impossible to pull that person over to see that what they were doing was actually not accomplishing anything. They were working hard, but they weren't being efficient and they certainly weren't accomplishing anything. So if you find that you're busy, if you're working 80, 90 hours a week, but you're not making, $2-3 million, something is wrong. And so go through that ADORE acronym. Look at all the things that you're doing. Ask yourself, of all the things, all the reasons that you fail that I just went through just now, do any of them apply to you? One of the things the book suggests, and I highly recommend you guys do this, go through the list. So again, I love this book. Go through it with somebody. Go through this video with somebody and say, is that me? Do I have a lack of persistence? Do I really have a true purpose and goal ahead of me that I am shooting for? And be honest with yourself, because when we are honest with ourselves, that's when change can happen, because you can identify it. It's just a thing. Don't take it personally, right? Number 2 of the 4 agreements is don't take it personally. And when you go through life and you look at situations that happen to you, they are just that. They're situations. You have not done something wrong. This is nothing about your character. This is nothing about you as a person. Don't take it badly. Take it as an opportunity to make a change and to make your life better. And when you start thinking about things in that way, right? Think about when you argue with your spouse, right? Or with your kids. If it gets personal, the whole argument is lost. So don't let it be personal. Let it be a situation, this thing right over here. And you're like, hey, I need to fix this thing. So let's look at all the different opportunities I have to make a change. So hopefully you guys have found this interesting. I do recommend play the video again if you've just gone through it. Go through the different kinds of failures that trip people up. Because if you can identify the potential pitfalls and identify how you can avoid them, you're going to find that your path to success is a hell of a lot clearer, that your ability to make more money, to get the lifestyle that you want. And when I say the lifestyle that you want, I'm not talking about the lifestyle of the rich and famous. I'm talking about a comfortable home, a car that works, kids that go to school, and you can pay your bills on a regular basis. That is the basis for happiness, and anything on top of that is gravy. If I go out there and I make, millions and millions of dollars, you know what I want to do with it? I want to find a cure for multiple sclerosis because I know too many people who have it. I want to give money to, mothers who have struggled with relationships and are starting on their own and they don't know what to do. I want to help kids who don't know what their purpose is in life and don't even know what it means, because schools force them into a vocation, not into you know, something that they truly enjoy and that will give them passion in life. I want to teach kids how to be successful first, how to have confidence and courage, and so that they can see the vocation that matches what they want to do in life. That's what I would do with my riches. So riches don't necessarily mean you're going to go out and buy Ferraris. I hate those internet marketers whose ads, and I'm sure you've seen them, it's them all in their like 75 cars and their private helicopters. Like, seriously, that's bullshit. I don't want that. And most of us don't want that. We want a comfortable lifestyle. We want maybe a couple of extras, and we just want to be happy. So if you can avoid the failures, you can make your path clear for success. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Share it if you loved it. There's probably someone out there who can use it. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. And again, if you're in the Toronto area, stay warm, stay safe, just stay off the roads. All right, take care, guys. And let's all pray for summer, because I'm really tired of having these videos where I'm telling people that it's horrible outside. I'd like some sunshine. So if you're in a sunshiny state, please send some my way. Take care, dudes.